So in this video we have a 59 cents account, so let's see how much we can get from this one. So we start by trading drift switch index 30 in the daily time frame. So the first thing that we have to do is mark the areas of confluence. So the first area of confluence that we put is the support line marked by that order block, and then we put another resistance that is marked by that order block. So these are major areas of confluence, and they are worth considering when we are making your trading plan. And then let's put a Fibonacci retracement and look for trades using this Fibonacci retracement. So this is not a very powerful setup, but however it is worth considering, as the market sometimes respects the Fibonacci retracements, like for example at 23.6 and at 38.2 and at 50. So the market follows a sequence of the Fibonacci retracement. If you don't know how to trade the Fibonacci, I'll do another video explaining the Fibonacci retracement. So this is marked by those lines that I'm putting. These are the areas where the market respected the Fibonacci retracements. But however, you should not just use Fibonacci retracement when making trading decisions. And then now we put a pair of trend lines. The first one that is marking the trailing support that is connecting the lower lows, and then we put the other one that is connecting the lower highs. So as you can see, the market broke to the upside, breaking the structure of more of a bearish flag. So after the breakout, the market pulled back and then continued going up, as marked by those bearish candles. So currently the market is at a point of confluence as marked. Let me put an arrow. So at this area the market reached the first TP. However, we were not in the market, so we are going to continue heading towards the second TP. So let's enter our position. So using this 59 cent account, we cannot enter a lot of positions. The market can only allow us to put 2 positions. So let's see how much we can get from this trade. So in terms of take profit, as always, you just put it at the first area of confluence that you see. This is the second TP, considering the market had already gone a long way. So do subscribe if you want to trade like a pro, so that you don't miss out on any video, any important update that I might post. This can help you daily to master the art of trading, the art that is usually used by Sage X. He's a great guy. He's also in the no stop loss gang. So please do not forget to subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on any video that I might post. So now we're in 29 cents profit each. However, we are still a long way to go. So for those who want to put a stop loss, just put it at the first area of confluence that you see, that is below your position. However, I cannot put the stop loss because 1, I'm in no stop loss gang. 2, even if I put the stop loss, my account would blow before reaching that stop loss. Sorry. So after some time we left the market, and then it hit our TP. Now we're in $6.71, and then now we visit the volatility 10 index. So in the volatility 10 index, we start by analyzing our market in the daily time frame. So we've noticed a trend that is in the daily time frame. So we're going to put a trend line that is marking the lower lows. So this trend line was respected quite a number of times. As you can see, even in the weekly time frame, it was respected. However, it was kind of broken down to the downside. Let's just put another one that is marking the lower highs that were connected. This is an area of trailing resistance that was also respected quite a number of times. And then we put an order block that is marking the support. This is a very major area of confluence, so you might wanna consider it when you are making your decision. Usually at this point, the market faces a tight fight between the bulls and the bears. So another area of support is that marked by that order block that I've put down there. And then let's draw another Fibonacci retracement and see if we can see any setup that is involving the Fibonacci retracement. So this setup, please do not forget, you should not use it alone. You must use it in conjunction with other strategies. For example, you might use it with the Bollinger Band strategy. If you haven't watched my video of Bollinger Bands, I'll put the link in the description box below. It's a very powerful strategy. You can also use it in conjunction with the moving averages. So as you can see, the market is currently at a point of support. At this point, the market cannot just pass through. However, it is going to retrace back up and then maybe retest that level of resistance that it had broken down and then come back again. So we're aiming for buy signals. And then in the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, there was kind of a double bottom. So the market is currently at a neckline. So at this double bottom, double bottoms are marked by when the market reaches at that neckline, it means the market has to go up again. But however, at that neckline that I'm putting the order block, the market can face some kind of challenge because it is an area of resistance, so it has to be retested. Just as I have drawn right here, the market has to retest at that neckline and then continues going up again. So with all these confirmations, you can simply enter the market and then you can just be content with what you get. Since we have a small account, we cannot enter a lot of positions. We're just going to enter only 2 positions. Once again, please do not forget to subscribe because you do not want to miss on any important update. I'm going to do a lot of giveaways as soon as I reach 5k. Remember, just as I have said in my past videos, a lot of packages are waiting for you guys, so please do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when there's an important update. So in terms of take profit, remember to put it at the first area of support or resistance that you put. In this case, it is an area of resistance, so you just put it at that area of resistance, and then even if you leave the market, it will just take the profit and then leave the market. So let's adjust both positions so that even if I leave the market, it will just hit my TP. Now we are $8 each, which is a lot, but we are aiming for the market to reach our TP. So if it reaches our TP, we are aiming to reach at least $30 something. It's a lot, and then maybe you can look for other trades. This kind of setup can go all the way up, but then it is risky to stay in one market. Sometimes you just have to collect the profit that you have collected, and then you just leave the market and look for other trades before it gets exhausted. Because if it gets exhausted, it might retest and exhaust all the profit that you may have already collected. So after some time, as you can see, our TP had been reached. So as you can see, our TP is been reached, is marked by that cross that I've put. So remember, we put our take profit at that area of resistance that I'm marking right now. So at this area of resistance, the market reached that point and then it closed the market. As you can see by the line that I've drawn. So now we are in $36 profit, which is a lot. We are going to look for other trades. This time we're aiming to at least reach 100, but let's see what we can get from the forex market. Okay, now we visit the volatility 25 index. So in the volatility 25 index, first of all, we have to draw the order block that is marking the support, and then we put our trend line and then make our trading decisions. And then we put another order block that is marking a resistance line. As you can see, this point was once a support, but then it was broken to the downside and then it became a resistance level. So these are very important terms you would know, so that you make your trading decisions well informed. And then we put a line that is marking the trailing resistance. Now we are going to put another line that is marking the trailing support. So these two areas are very important, as they are the actual trend line that is being followed by the forex market. But then in this chart, there was kind of another trend that was formed in between those trend lines. So I'm going to draw a pair of trend lines that is marking those two. So the market formed another trend inside that trend line. So this is important to note. As you can see, when it formed that trend line, it broke to the downside, and then after it had broken down to the downside, it then went to reach that first TP. So if you follow X, usually he does videos like this, you will get full explanation on these ones. But however, since the market has already reached the first TP, we are now aiming for the second TP, which is a bit risky, but then we are just going to enter it. So as you can see, when it reaches the first TP, it retests as marked by those lines, those candlesticks, that's this bullish candlestick, and then it came back. Now it is going to continue going down, aiming to reach the second TP. So we are aiming for sell signals. So let's execute the market and see how much we can get from this one. So let's add more positions so that we can collect a lot of profit. So we've gone full margin. This is kind of risky because a little bit pullback can just exhaust all the profits. Now we are in $78 profit after some time, which is a lot, but we are going to continue holding because we are aiming for the second TP. As you can see, the second TP hasn't been reached or yet, so we're going to continue holding. So in terms of take profit, we are just going to put it at the second TP that I've said earlier. This is an area of support down there, as marked by that TP line that I've put. Now we are in $164 profit. The market is continue going down. So when you're trading, please do not forget to add more positions when it is possible. Like for example, at this point I'm adding more positions because I have the capacity to do so, because I'm basking in profit right now. So you should add more positions when you see fit and when you think you are correct, and then you can collect a lot of profit. However, this is a lot, so at any time I can just close the market. Remember the TP. So this is it. I think closing the market is a very good thing to do. Now I've closed now in $215, and then I'm going to look for other trades. So after some time, I then came back to that same V25, and then it had reached the second TP. So if I hadn't closed the market, I would have collected a lot of profit, but then I closed, which is not that good, but at least I was in profit. So now I've seen another setup in the same volatility 25. So please note that sometimes in the forex market you can place two different positions in the same trade, one after the other. So I'm going to demonstrate on this one. So after some time the market reached the second TP. However, we were not in the market to collect that profit, but we are going to go back into that same market and then see if we can get something else. And then in this one we are no longer going to sell because the market has reached that second TP. So now we are aiming for a buy because the market faced a lot of challenge at that support line at the second take profit. So I'm going to draw those lines that I had put in the previous setup. These are the same lines. So the market, when the market broke those lines, it aimed for that second take profit. So this is kind of setup that is usually done by Exness, whereby he puts the distance from the resistance to the support is the same distance that he usually put to measure the take profit that he's going to put. But however, we are not going to trade that sell. We are just going to aim for that pullback that it is going to do. So as marked by that order block, the market is currently at a strong support area as marked by those two lines. So this is a point of second TP. So at this point the market does a little bit of pullback. Maybe it can retest back to this another area of confluence, but however we are not going to hold it for that long. We're just going to enter and then scalp that pullback, and then we are good to go. As you can see, my arrow is not that big because the market cannot just go up there without any confirmation. So we're going to buy the market and see if we can collect a lot of profit. Let's just go full margin and get it over with. Let's increase our lot and then enter again. Right, now we are going. Let's go, let's add more positions. Well, let's wait for it. It is going up. It is definitely going up. This is just a pullback. It's not a strong setup, and it's not a long time frame setup. You might want to consider that before entering in the forex market. And then after some time, we're in $61 profit. We are just going to maximize our profit and then collect the profit and go and enjoy it somewhere else. After some time, we're in $289 profit, which is a lot. I'm excited. I think I'm satisfied with this because the market has no guarantee that it is going to continue going up. However, I had enough evidence that the market was going to buy for that moment. If you want to put a TP, you can just put it at that level, but it is very risky. So for those who would want to close, this is the time to close, and I think I'm just going to close. Well, I wait a little bit longer and see if I can just try to maximize a little bit, and then I'll just leave the market. It is almost at my TP, but it is very risky. This is the most interesting thing about forex. Sometimes it gets risky, interestingly risky. So now I think it's time to close. Now it's time to close, and then we close. Now we're in 560. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss out when there's an important update that I might post. See you in the next video.